Hello guys, in this tutorial we're going to discuss how we can implement Jetpack Compose in our project. So we're going to give a simple demo on how this can be achieved. Before we start, I just want to talk about some of the dependencies that are required for us to build a Jetpack Compose project. Just bring it up here. So we have compose.bom, BOM, that is bill of material. So what this dependency does is that it helps us to manage versions of different compose libraries by ensuring compatibility. The UI, of course, we're familiar with this based on our traditional knowledge of Android Studio layout using XML. So the user interface, this dependency helps us to have access to some material design components which will be implemented in this tutorial. The other dependency that's also necessary is tooling preview. This tooling preview helps us to have a preview of what we have designed before we deploy it into our model. We also have the tooling, UI tooling. So this one helps us to ensure that we have tools that we can use for layout inspection. So these are some of the major dependencies that are required for building a Jetpack Compose. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this into our model, into our project, and we'll sync it. We'll synchronize this. Okay, I'll click on sync. So we'll give it some time to sync, then we proceed afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video to allow it to sync, and after syncing then we'll continue. So now that we've successfully synced our project, let's move on to the main activity. So by default, Android Studio generates these methods and functions and composables for us, just for us to have an idea of how this can be implemented. Okay, unlike the traditional XML method for generating layer user interface, which has a set content view, for Jetpack Compose it is set content. Okay, now it also generates a theme for us, and by default generates a customized theme based on the name of the project, which is Jetpack class. So because we want to implement our own customized UI, we're going to take this default interface away. So we're also taking away these composables, and the preview, we're taking it off. So first we're going to create a method called surface. So a surface is more like it's like a container that contains our composables. So some of the features of the container which we want to create, we want to make it to fill max size using a modifier. So the modifier, and also modifier.fill max size. So what we're trying to say is our composable should fill the size of this, to fill the screen. We want it to use the maximum size, so we're going to want to make it a color using material theme. Material theme. Okay, material theme. with a color scheme which you can use as a background. Okay. So we're going to import material 3 surface. Import. Importing composable 3, this surface. Okay. Yeah, so within the surface we're going to create our composable, so let's just call it a text comp. So method, so which will be implemented within a function. Now within this function we're going to create a text and an image. So creating a text and an image. So within the text and the image, the text and the image will be placed inside a box and a card. So we're going to see how we can implement that in our project. So we're going to place the box inside the card, and the image and the text is going to be placed inside the box. So let's start with a card. I'm going to import that now. Card will have features like want to modify it to was it padding of let's say 16. Send DP. Okay. Got theory, yeah. Forgot to include the annotation composable. Thank you. Yeah, so within this card we're going to place a box. Okay, now yeah, fire this foundation. Now we're also going to modify the box with a padding of say 8 dp or 10 dp. So modifier, the padding of depending on the demand of your project, ADP, and we also want it to fill max size. Okay, so what we want to note is this: when using modifiers, each of these features are ranked based on how it is arranged. For example, if I want the modifier to take fill max size, make it a priority over the padding, then I'm going to place fill max size first before the padding. So that's one of the things to take note when using modifiers in Jetpack Compose. So within the box, we're going to create an image. We may use a painter to display our image. So painter resource. So the ID of our resource for our drawable. So we're going to bring in an image. Okay, let's use OK hand as our image. Okay, so it's also very important to note that in Jetpack Compose, when you're creating an image, you must include a description. So you must include a content description. Okay, which is always a string. So let's just give it OK hand. That's the description. Content scale. That's the size. Let's make it content scale. Dot fill width. Okay, let's go to fill width and put a modifier equals modifier dot fill max width. Okay, so now what the text, I need text to it. The text, so I can give it a string value, a string of let's just say the hand, that hand is okay. Okay, so let's leave it like this. We're going to create a preview of what we have. Okay, so So create a preview of it. So we annotation preview. Don't forget to show background. Show background. Equals to true. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Also need to bring in the annotation composable. Okay. And then we'll create the methods form tests com preview. Test.com preview. Okay, what we want to preview is our composable text composable. So we're going to run this and then we view it. Okay, we have to run it first. So I'm going to pause the video, so when it runs complete, then we'll start over. Okay, so the build is finished. Let's try and view what we've done. Refresh. Just give it a moment. It's loading. Let's give it some time to load. Oh, okay. So here is the that hand is okay, and this is the image we have here. So let's try and view it properly. Yeah. Oh, that's it. So this is the hand. And this is that is okay. So this is a text. That hand is okay, and this is our image. Okay hand. So let's try and do something else. Let's try and make it look more organized. Let's say we want the okay, so let's say that we want to make the image to be above the text, so that because as it is now, the text is kind of within the image, which doesn't really make much sense. So let's try and put the text to be below the image. So we can achieve this by bringing in a column into the box. So column, column. Yeah, so the properties of the column, want to make it okay, let's modify it first. Modifier equals modifier dot fill max size. Okay, so now what we want it to be horizontally aligned at the center. So horizontal, okay, horizontal, call it alignment dot center horizontally. Okay, and we want it to be vertical, so vertical arrangement equals to arrangement dot center. So we'll bring it in. We'll bring in our text into it. Okay, so let's have a preview of what we've done. To make it faster, let's load, let's build, and then we'll build it and we'll preview it again. So this is what it is now. So the horizontal alignment is at the center, the vertical arrangement is at the center, and because it is within a column, the text is below the image. So this is what we have. So the next project we're going to be working on, we're going to bring try and use a Jetpack Compose in building a project with a RESTful API. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like and also subscribe so that when more videos come in, you can easily get notified. Thank you.